pure space, vast as the infinite sky, is our true nature. And this pure space is aware pure space. Awareness is inseparable from pure space. Not only is awareness inseparable from pure space, but it's laughing. Aware pure space laughing. Know that as your true nature. Know that as the reality of what you are. We were never meant to take everything to be so serious. People ask me why, no matter what I say, it always seems like I'm chuckling. The reality is that what we are is so entirely free, so timelessly free, so never bound up in anything, let alone a word or any idea of what we might take ourselves to be, that all we are is complete relief, and complete relief utterly amazing and utterly amusing, especially when we've taken ourselves to be someone. So within pure space, anything that appears is the dynamic energy of that space and nothing else. Anything that appears, it doesn't matter what it is. The appearance is us taking ourselves to be somebody. The appearance is us taking ourselves to be somebody that has thoughts and emotional states and sensations. All of these, their primary description is always aware pure space, laughing, and nothing else. And when we rest naturally as that essence of being that is the true nature of every single description, no matter what it might be, then we realize more and more the direct reality of our own being. The direct reality of our own being that is pure space and nothing else. In pure space, just as a game of awareness, as pure space, there appeared an enormous mirage of pure space called Earth. And that enormous mirage of pure space appeared to have many elements. It appears to have many elements. But all of the elements of the mirage called Earth are equal in being pure space. No matter what their description may be, they're equal in being pure space and nothing else. And this isn't something we can figure out through our conventional ways of knowing about things. This isn't something we can arrive at through doing a bunch of things we think we need to do in order to get to be what we already are. So we already are what we are. We don't need to do a bunch of things to be who we are. And as all of the elements in the mirage are absolutely equal and even in their purely spacious nature, we don't have to renounce and denounce some of them and cling to others and say that these are the spiritual parts of the mirage and those are the non-spiritual parts of the mirage. All the elements of a mirage are equal. All the elements of a mirage are equally illusory, equally dreamlike. All sounds are like the sound in an echo, empty appearances that leave no trace. So no matter what the appearance may be, it's like the flight path of a bird in the sky, vanishing naturally without a trace, its own undoing. If we spend our lifetime trying to fix up all the appearances, all the points of view, all the perceptions that arise in awareness, that's what we'll spend our life doing, just working on those perceptions. Got to do something with them, got to rearrange them, got to make them into a certain arrangement. They have to look a certain way in order to be who I am. But all the while, know that you are that. It's already accomplished. There's nothing to get and there's no one to get it. So that's the starting point. That's the starting point. There's nothing to get and there's no one to get it. And at the same time, there is the vivid appearance of our humanity. But the vivid appearance of our humanity is an empty appearance that leaves no trace. If we were a fixed entity, then we would be a fixed entity timelessly. But the only reality about us that is timeless is awareness. That's it. So we're aware of being naturally present. Awareness is primary. We're aware of having skin. Awareness is primary. We're aware of all the other experiences of being a body. Awareness is primary. If we focus our entire lives on the piecemeal makeup of what a human being takes itself to be, then we're just going to be lost forever. We're going to be lost forever in all those bits and bytes of what a human is. Because a human can't be found in any of those things. What describes the essential humanness cannot be found in any of its pieces. Nowhere can it be found. There's only awareness as everything, no matter what it is. So one of the ways that we can look at this is to say that all there is all-inclusive awakened awareness, the all-encompassing vast expanse of infinite space. And all the dynamic energy of that pure view of awareness is point of view and nothing else. Never anything separate within it. A single non-dual expanse. In non-duality, there never have been two. We don't have two now, and there never will be two in the future. So in the non-dual expanse, duality has never existed as something. And how can we say that? We can say that duality has never existed as something because duality, even though it's a description of something, it is empty of an independent origin. It has no independent origin. There's no origin for duality other than awareness. We wouldn't be aware of any kind of world of dualistic perceptions or cause and effect without awareness. So awareness is primary. Awareness is primary. Awareness is primary. And when we're looking for our true nature, no matter what we might call it, being the epitome human being, the pinnacle, the apex of being human, enlightenment, liberation, awakening, no matter what we might call it, self-realization, awareness is primary in any of those descriptions. So if we want to get down to brass tacks about who we are and stop fooling around, what we can look at is our own awareness. Our own awareness, vast as infinite space. Know that as yourself. That's the starting point. So there's nothing to be fixed. You don't have to rearrange any of your points of view in order to figure out you are awareness. You already are awareness. Just rest as the essence of each one of those perceptions and know that in that you are totally and timelessly free. If you feel that you need to have some points of view that are spiritual and some that are non-spiritual in order to be who you are, then the entire lifetime is spent looking at the non-spiritual points of view and trying to get rid of those and trying to cultivate the spiritual points of view. And while that can lead to a better life, it does not lead to freedom. It simply does not lead to freedom. It has never led to freedom. It doesn't lead to freedom now, and it never will lead to freedom, because the essence of freedom is that it is timelessly free. And all of the dynamic energy that is the non-dual expanse of aware basic space is timelessly free, no matter what its description is. The description of all the elements in a mirage, the descriptions of all the elements in a mirage are equal in that they're all mirage-like by nature. They're empty appearances that leave no trace. If we jumped into the middle of a mirage of an oasis in the desert and tried to make something out of it, we were determined to get a drink of water or sit down under the shade of a palm or whatever, no matter how much we wanted that to be the case and no matter how much we believed that it was so, it would never be possible. It would never be possible at all. So this is an illustration for looking for satisfaction and fulfillment in any of the points of view we have. If we look for satisfaction and fulfillment in our thoughts, we'll never find it there. If we look for satisfaction and fulfillment in cultivating certain kinds of emotional states, we'll never find it. If we look for satisfaction and fulfillment in our sensations, our sense perceptions, we'll never find it there either, because all of these are empty appearances that are absent of an independent origin, absent of a nature of their own, absent of being anything in and of themselves, all pure space in which no thing has ever occurred. So there's no thing that has ever occurred in any perception. If there were something that had occurred, we'd be able to hold on to a perception. But just try it. Try to hold on to one perception. It's impossible. Sometimes I say it's like a greased pig. Have you ever tried to hold on to a greased pig? Try it sometime. It's impossible. You can't hold on to a greased pig. Now, in America, at some of the fairs, the farm fairs, they actually have a greased pig contest, and people try to hold on to greased pigs. They've developed skillful means for attempting to hold on to greased pigs, but really what it is just a big laugh fest, because no one can ever hold on to the greased pig. So there are all these people running around trying to grab greased pigs, and they have come up with all these different means and methods of doing so, but no one can ever do it. So this is the case with all the perceptions, no matter what they are. They dissolve in and of themselves, their own undoing, like a knot in a snake. We don't have to do anything about a knot in a snake. It's its own undoing. Or a contortionist, we don't have to say, oh, want me to help you out there? Want me to untwist you? We don't have to do any of that. The contortionist can take care of herself or himself. All points of view, no matter what they are, they're their own undoing. But if we refuse to relax and enjoy the complete enjoyment body of ease and comfort that is our natural being, then we'll spend our whole life trying to hold on to a greased pig. All of these perceptions, some of them we want, others we don't want. So some greased pigs we want to hold on to, others they're too muddy, we don't want to hold on to those. So this is what we do when we take our points of view to be positive, negative, and neutral. When we take our points of view, some of them positive, some of them we don't care about, they're neutral, they don't seem to have any consequences, and others are negative, we want to get rid of them, we want to denounce them, renounce them, get them entirely out of our field of perception. They don't have anything to do with us, and why do we have them in the first place? Well, there's no one who has them, that's the point. All the dynamic energy of awareness is countless, ceaseless, unpredictable, and inseparable from it. So even though we may attempt through arduous practices to cultivate positive points of view and diminish negative points of view, everything that we do will still be within the purview of cause and effect. Everything we are doing will be a point of view. It may not be the conventional point of view, but it will be a point of view. It'll just be more of a world of point of view, an anomaly of point of view. It'll still be within point of view. The ultimate renunciation is that there is nothing to renounce. That's the ultimate renunciation. So if we're looking at ourselves as renunciates, then it's important to know what renunciation is, the ultimate meaning of renunciation. The ultimate meaning of renunciation is that there is nothing to renounce. Now, the word renounce means to give up or to not follow. Denounce means to condemn or work against. So if we believe that we're renunciates, we may actually be denunciates. We may actually be condemning certain points of view and saying that those points of view don't fit in to the non-dual expanse, and others do. So it's very important to know the meaning of the words we choose. Not only their meaning within the world of cause and effect, but their ultimate meaning is aware basic space. It's extremely important. It doesn't mean that we can't follow a certain lifestyle we're choosing that includes renunciation, that has a certain description. But if we want to be a renunciate, it's extremely important to know what it means, to give up and to not follow after. And that the ultimate renunciation is that there's nothing to renounce. So what does that mean in terms of what I'm saying here? Awareness as all points of view. It means that when we don't follow after the points of view, we give them up. We give them up as a lifestyle. We no longer take ourselves to be all these points of view. We no longer spend our entire lifetime making ourselves a victim to our own points of view. So we give up our right to be a victim of our own points of view. Dynamic energy of awareness, inseparable from it. Know that you are already accomplished that dynamic energy of awareness and nothing else. You've never been anything other than that. It's not a destination, it's not a place to get to. It's just like if you walked up to me and said, I want to go to Lakshman Jula, can you tell me how to get there? And I said, well, first you have to go to Tibet and spend 3 years there in a dark retreat, and then you might get to Lakshman Jula. Or I might say, well, if you travel 26,000 miles to the east, then you'll get to Lakshman Jula. Well, you wouldn't want to be talking to me, if I was giving you advice like that. You'd want to walk up to the me who said, hey, you're already in Lakshman Jula. It's great, you're already here. And I'm going to prove to you that you're here. So, you see, this is something very important to know. If we're looking for the awareness that we already are, we don't want to go talk to somebody who's going to say, well, you're not aware. Sorry, but you're not aware. You're doing all these things that make you unaware. Well, this is never the case. We are aware no matter what we're doing. All 7 billion people on Earth are aware no matter what they're doing. And that awareness is totally beyond cause and effect. It has no notion whatsoever, and never has, in being timelessly free of anything like birth, life, and death, waking, dreaming, and sleeping, or time and space. Awareness is timelessly free. It has no descriptions, exclamations, elaborations. None of this are for awareness. Awareness is a single non-dual expanse, and entirely beyond causality, and entirely without effort and achievement. So if we spend our entire time and all our resources looking for awareness within a world of cause and effect, we'll never find it, because awareness is beyond cause and effect. So for this reason, the starting point must be awareness already accomplished. Awareness already accomplished. This is true renunciation. True renunciation did not follow after everything that we've adopted as a belief system and assumption and taken to be ourselves. So know that awareness is yourself. Know that you've never been confined or restricted by any kind of description of yourself that you may have adopted. Even if you've spent decades taking yourself to be someone who has all kinds of descriptions of itself, just relax. Just relax. It's so much work to lug around that big load of descriptions. It's so much work because what happens is when we describe ourselves and we take ourselves to be an accumulation of descriptions, then we take everyone else to be an accumulation of descriptions. So not only are we lugging around all our own descriptions, but pretty soon we have truckloads of descriptions that we're lugging around about everybody else. It's very tiring. It's very tiring. And aging, too. It's extremely aging. To just relax and enjoy the ease of our being means that we adopt renunciation. We adopt renunciation as our lifestyle. Our renunciation is that we don't follow after all the descriptions we've taken ourselves to be. Now, this is the life of a joyful renunciation. So it's renunciation that brings a smile to the face and has complete connection with everything. Because another thing about renunciation is that there's nothing to renounce. There's nothing to renounce, nothing whatsoever to renounce. There's nothing to renounce, and there never has been. So when we are living a life of true renunciation, of total and complete ease, the total and complete ease of our being, there's nothing to avoid. There's nothing in our life that we need to avoid.